There are places in this world that time refuses to abandon, where history rots, breathes, and walks again. Places built on suffering and fed by the forgotten dead. In the hills of Weston, West Virginia, such a place stands. The Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum. Stone walls carved by hand, hallways built to hold sunlight, now drowning in shadow. It was meant to be a place of hope. Instead, it became a house of nightmares, and those nightmares still whisper from the walls. In 1858, the asylum's first stone was laid with noble intentions. The Kirkbride plan envisioned it as a sanctuary, where architecture itself could heal broken minds. Long, staggered wings designed to catch sunlight, airy halls filled with greenery and calm. It was a dream of healing, but dreams bleed easily into nightmares. As the Civil War erupted, Weston became a battlefield. Union soldiers seized the asylum in progress for its precious building materials. Money, stone, supplies all vanished into the war effort. What remained was hollow. When the asylum finally opened in 1864, the rot was already there. It could house 250 patients. By 1880, over 700 were crammed inside. By 1938, over 600. By the 1950s, more than 400 broken souls fought for breath inside these stone walls. The corridors, meant to be healing rivers of air and light, became suffocating veins pulsing with despair. Food shortages, rat infestations, infected wounds left untreated, electric shocks administered not for healing, but for punishment. Ice baths so cold, patients lost consciousness. Isolation rooms where cries went unanswered for days, weeks, months. The list of reasons for committal reads like a catalogue of madness itself. Kicked in the head by a horse. Grief. Masturbation. Seduction. Novel reading. Imaginary female trouble. Some were no more insane than you or I, but once they crossed the threshold, they vanished from the world. Inmates. Forever. By the 1940s, horror evolved. Dr. Walter Freeman arrived wielding his ice pick like a butcher's blade. A quick jab through the eye socket. A brutal twist. No anesthesia. No mercy. Freeman performed thousands of lobotomies across the country. Hundreds right here, inside Trans-Allegheny's crumbling halls. Patients reduced to breathing shells. Silent. Drooling. Empty. Some wandered the halls aimlessly. Others forgot their own names. Some simply died, left cold on blood-stained gurneys. There were children here too, victims of misunderstanding, victims of cruelty, some orphans, some simply different, locked away, forgotten. Lily, the most famous spirit, was one of them. A little girl trapped for eternity, clutching her doll. But there are others, some darker, some who cry not for comfort, but for revenge. Not every spirit within these walls is gentle. Some are angry, some are violent, and some are not human at all. Visitors report black shadows, larger than any man, slithering across ceilings, doors slamming with enough force to shatter glass, voices cursing, screaming in languages forgotten by the living. Few dare enter the lower levels. The basements, originally intended for storage, they quickly became prisons. Patients deemed too dangerous, too disturbed, were locked here, in darkness, starved, forgotten. Their rage lingers still. Even today, tour guides refuse to linger long in the blackened boiler rooms. Shadows move here, growls low and guttural, sometimes echo from unseen throats. The violent ward once home to murderers and maniacs is alive with terror. Cell doors rattle themselves. Footsteps chase the living through empty corridors. Voices call out from the locked rooms, pleading to be freed. One guide, late one night, heard a voice whisper in her ear, "Get out." She did not hesitate. There are stories of a nurse who was murdered here, her body hidden inside a closet, undiscovered for days. Her spirit still walks the third floor. Staff report hearing her high heels clicking furiously down empty hallways. Sometimes, they say, if you listen carefully, you can hear her pounding on the closet door, screaming to be found. Not all who suffered here were patients. Pregnant women, sent here for out-of-wedlock pregnancies, labored in agony. Some gave birth alone, unattended. Some lost their children and their sanity. Visitors report seeing shadowy women cradling invisible infants, hearing lullabies sung brokenly into the night. Trans-Allegheny is not dead, it breathes. The stone walls expand and contract with sorrow. The air itself seems heavier, fouler. Visitors find themselves short of breath. Some collapse without warning, as if the asylum itself is trying to pull them into its cold, forgotten embrace. Today, thrill seekers come for ghost tours. Paranormal investigators stay overnight. Few leave unchanged. Nightmares, cold fingers brushing against skin, whispered voices saying their names at night. Some report dark figures following them home. Some say, the asylum never lets you leave. Not really. The Trans-Allegheny Lunatic Asylum is not a building. It is a living grave, a monument to all the human suffering we choose to forget. But the walls, remember. They whisper, they mourn, they rage. And if you listen long enough, you may just hear them calling your name.
There's a shadow in the hallway and a voice beneath the floor. I lock the doors, I hold my breath, but it's closer than before.